Nothing is ever as it seems. The car was silent as Peter and Porge drove back toward the station. Neither man spoke. The tension between them was a living thing, thick, suffocating, filling the small space with suspicion and unspoken fear. Porge's eyes flicked sideways, catching Peter's profile in the dim glow of the dashboard. He opened his mouth to speak, then froze. His expression twisted in sudden terror. Too late. A van came out of nowhere, smashing into their side with bone-crunching force. The world spun, metal shrieking as glass exploded into a storm of glittering shards. The airbags erupted like thunder. Peter groaned something incoherent before darkness swallowed him whole. When he came to, the car was upside down, flames licking greedily at the leaking fuel. Porge slumped in the passenger seat, bloodied, unmoving. The van's doors flew open, and two men in black tactical gear advanced, faces hidden behind balaclavas. They didn't check the officers. They didn't ask questions. Their hands went straight to the scattered documents, the file. They snatched what they could and disappeared. The flames roared higher. The wreck hissed, seconds from detonation. Peter clawed his way free, coughing, choking on smoke. His face was streaked with blood, his lungs burning. "Porge!" he screamed, stumbling back toward the inferno. Inside, Porge was still trapped. His seat belt was locked tight. The fire spread across the dashboard, devouring plastic, paint, leather. Gasoline dripped like fire blood onto the asphalt. Peter slashed the belt with his knife, yanking at his partner's limp body. Then, boom! The explosion split the night open. The car disintegrated into a fireball, hurling both men across the road. Shards of metal and glass rained down like razors. Peter crawled across the tarmac, ears ringing, body battered. "Porge!" He pressed his hands to the man's chest, forcing compressions, trying to drag him back from the abyss. Nothing. No response. Sirens wailed. A police cruiser skidded to a halt, followed by fire engines and an ambulance. Medics swarmed. Porge was lifted onto a stretcher, his body pale and still. "What the hell happened?" an officer barked. Peter shoved his badge forward with shaking hands. "I'm a cop." His voice was raw, broken. As they sped Porge away, Peter's mind wasn't on them. It was on Ford, the chief, the file, and Linda. He grabbed a scooter from a bystander, ignoring the shouts, and tore into the night. Chief Constable Ford sat alone in his office. The city spread beneath his window like a graveyard. The revolver on his desk gleamed faintly in the lamplight. His hands trembled. The phone rang. He lifted it. "Porge didn't make it," the voice said coldly. Then silence. Ford closed his eyes as he replaced the receiver. "Peter," he whispered. His last chance, his last pawn. He thought of Lindy's goddaughter, the child he had sworn to protect after Nathan's supposed death. She had the file. She had hidden it from him. Why? Was it leverage? Insurance? The thought festered like rot. If the truth came out, his empire would collapse overnight. His son, the mayor of Manchester. His daughter, a judge. All of it built on shadows, on favors traded in blood and silence. He clenched his fists, feeling the weight of decades crushing down. He picked up a burner phone. "Do it, now." His voice was flat, empty. He crushed the device in his hand. And in the quiet, Nathan's voice echoed from the past. "A leopard never changes its spots." Peter stormed into the station, fury burning through exhaustion. "What's in the file?" he demanded. Ford's eyes narrowed. "Names. Men who rule Manchester. Men you don't cross." Peter slammed a fist onto the desk. "People are dying for it. And it's just a list." Before Ford could answer, the lights flickered, then died. Gunfire erupted. Black-clad soldiers poured into the station, weapons spitting fire. The battle was brutal, short, merciless. When the smoke cleared, Chief Constable Ford slumped at his desk, blood blooming across his chest. Dead. Peter fled into the night. Only one thought kept him moving. Linda. The safe house smelled of damp and smoke. Linda sat rigid, her hands trembling. Derek stood guard by the window, a pistol clutched in his bandaged hand. On the table lay the file, burned, blood-stained, but still intact. Peter burst in. "How did you get this?" His voice cracked like a whip. "Later," Derek muttered, sliding it toward Linda. She swallowed hard, then spoke. The words came in a rush. The Lion's Den, a secret council. Politicians, businessmen, soldiers, judges, not united by wealth but by favors. Every betrayal, every murder, every deal written in code inside the file. And the bald man, Nathan, her father, alive. Peter froze. Derek's jaw clenched. The room was ice. Before they could speak again, the front door exploded inward. Smoke, flashbangs, shadows stormed in. Linda screamed as rough hands dragged her into the night. Peter and Derek barely escaped the collapsing house. They followed the assailant in the cover of darkness. The trail led them deep into the forest, to an abandoned World War II munitions factory. Code 12NLD. Inside, wealth and power gathered in secret. Luxury cars gleamed in the courtyard. Guards patrolled with rifles. The Lion's Den. Manchester's true rulers met in the ruins of war. On stage, Nathan knelt bound, beaten. Linda stood beside him, trembling. The Knight of the Den raised his pistol. The penalty for betrayal is death. He shot Nathan in the head. Blood painted the concrete. He turned to Linda. You stole our file. For that, you die. He raised the weapon. Crack. A sniper's bullet tore through his skull. Chaos exploded. This is the police, boomed a voice over loudspeakers. Gunfire drowned the hall in thunder. Men screamed, fell, and vanished into smoke. Hours later, silence fell. Survivors in cuffs, bodies cooling on the cold concrete. From the shadows, Morris emerged. He clasped Peter's hand. Peter was shocked. How? The Arms Gang and the Lion's Den, they were one and the same. Tonight, we cut their claws, Morris said. I was one of them, he continued. I was the Booker keeper. It was me that was feeding Linda the information secretly, he said. She was with my son when they killed him. Tears running down his eyes. But Derek wasn't smiling. He pulled Linda close, his voice low, grim. This isn't justice. It's just a new mask on the same monster. Power never dies. Not here. Not in Manchester. The night was quiet again. Too quiet. The war was only beginning. The end.